Welcome back everyone to another Super Smash Bros. Brawl video. Today we have episode number 5 of Bad Matchups. The bad matchup we'll be looking at today is Snake versus Mr. Game & Watch. Now both these characters are pretty high quality characters on the game, but it seems when they face each other, Snake always has the advantage. There are several reasons for this. Some of them are just generic things about the character, such as Snake being a heavier character than Mr. Game & Watch. He obviously lives longer. Snake is also the more powerful character of the two. Well, even though Snake is the more powerful character, you would think that Mr. Game & Watch could just camp him out, right? Well, unfortunately, this isn't the case. Snake does to Mr. Game & Watch what he does to most characters on the game. Camps them out and racks up a bunch of damage before they ever even get near him. Probably the main reason Mr. Game & Watch has such a tough time with Snake is that Snake's projectiles simply have more range than Mr. Game & Watch's projectile. Because really, Mr. Game & Watch only has his bacon, and that only goes so far. But then Snake's got those guided missiles that can reach across smaller stages. And then you throw the grenades on top of it, which also have a pretty wide range. Mr. Game & Watch's main hope of really winning this battle is by getting Snake off stage or hang him into the air. Mr. Game & Watch doesn't really have much chance of beating Snake on the ground with all those projectiles. He's somehow gotta figure out how to get around all those projectiles and then get Snake off stage or in the air, because Snake's recovery is pretty vulnerable and easily punished by Mr. Game & Watch's aerials. But unfortunately, this is very difficult for Mr. Game & Watch to pull off, as Snake usually always gets him off stage before he does. And when Snake does get Mr. Game & Watch off stage, his guided missile is always a good option to knock out Game & Watch. His up smash is also a very good ledge guard, and the bazooka comes in handy too. It's just not gonna be a very good matchup for Mr. Game & Watch when he constantly has to be aware of all the projectiles Snake is throwing out at him. When Game & Watch doesn't have a projectile of his own he can throw out against Snake. You might be thinking Game & Watch's down special would be a good move against Snake, as it is usually a good move versus most projectile characters. Well, it really serves no use against Snake's grenades, as the grenades explode. They don't go straight into Game & Watch, so he can't just collect it. Snake can really just drop his guided missiles right on top of Game & Watch instead of running them right into Game & Watch. This, combined with the fact that Game & Watch is really gonna have a hard time killing off Snake quickly, leads to a very unfair and unbalanced matchup. I hope you enjoyed this Bad Matchups episode. Be sure to comment below if you think there's something I missed that contributes even more to this bad matchup. But until next time, remember, Game & Watch has the advantage in this matchup if you put a handicap on Snake. This is Joel Cook saying see you next time.